A year ago, I sent my art portfolio to over 100 creative agencies for book illustration work, and I didn't hear back from a single one that then and there I decided that I was going to write and illustrate my own children's book. That was last April, and I have never had a story flow so effortlessly. But now it's a year later, and I am ready to illustrate the first page. So let's dive straight in. Before we begin, I think it's necessary to talk about why and how I am illustrating my children's book. And the number one reason is because of you guys. Because you guys started commenting on my posts about a year ago when I found my art style that I should get into children's book illustrating. And that led me to submit my art portfolio to so many creative agencies. However, when you're cold emailing, a lot of people won't even see them, and even in the slight chance they do, they probably don't have any projects lined up for you at the time. This led me to take my art dreams into my own hands, and I have always wanted to be an artist and a writer. I never thought of combining the two together and actually writing a children's book or a storybook, because I really believe that this story I've written is for everyone, no matter how old you are, because I wrote my story in around 3 hours, just straight out. All 40 pages were written, and since that time, the structure and the storyline hasn't changed at all. And I really wrote it from my own experience and my own passion, growing up in Australia countryside, my art journey, and how I kind of found my inner child and how I found my dreams and what it takes to get there. That is, in a nutshell, what inspired the storyline. And at the time last year, when I wrote it, I wasn't reading any other children's books, or I wasn't inspired by any writers or necessarily children's book artists and authors. You know, it really came from the bottom of my heart and my own experience. And I think that authenticity really shines through my words and my work, because it's something that I am extremely passionate about and extremely excited, and I think there's just so much meaning that's put in this book, like the little meanings that I put on every page. Oh my god, guys. Now, the number one question I get asked is why on earth I am illustrating on such a large scale. Now, there are three main reasons. Number one is that I want to push the conventions and the stereotypes of watercolor painting, because you don't usually see watercolor illustrations or watercolor fine art paintings like this on such a large scale, and especially if there are people involved, because it is so hard to paint people, and don't even get me started on how hard it is to paint a character in watercolor throughout an entire book. Anyway, that topic is for page 2, but I really want to push what people are used to seeing. And in order to have progress in art, we have to do something new. We have to do things differently. And so by painting on such a large scale, I wish to inspire other people, other artists and other creatives to go out and do the same in their own practice. Number 2 is that it's iconic. It's different. I love to do iconic things, as Kim Kardashian would say. Why not? Why not paint on a big scale like this? My number 3 is that my work is so detailed, especially my portraiture, and to try and create that detail on a small scale is extremely difficult. And I also think that when I go and photograph these pages professionally to make as like art prints, or as I'm doing a book, the detail is just going to be magnified and encapsulated when I scale it down. I don't know if that makes sense to people that aren't artists, but the detail is preserved so beautifully when you photograph. And this is the second question that I get asked a lot: how on earth am I going to digitalize it? Scanning would cost around 5 to 6 grand Australian dollars, so I'm actually going to do it myself with a photograph, which is how a lot of artists make their art prints. So that is the same method I'm doing for my book. One of the most difficult things about illustrating this book is the fact that I'm doing it in watercolor. If you guys aren't a watercolor artist or you haven't tried watercolor before, once you put paint on the paper, you can't get it back off again. Sure, you can rub it out, that's a technique we use, but the color is definitely on there, and so your complete focus has to be on what you're creating, especially if it's a prominent subject. It's also extremely time consuming, especially waiting for each layer to dry so you can work on the next layer, and my watercolor paintings have up to 20 plus layers, especially in the portraits. I have the goal of publishing this book by the end of next year, and I would like to grow a community of people that are inspired by it and love my art and my story, that by the time I publish it and open my pre-orders, I will sell 10,000 copies in a month or 14 days. I know that might sound crazy and delusional. You guys have made me believe that's possible. And of course, my delusionality added into the mix. Shoot for the end of the galaxy and you will land in the stars. This page alone took me 3 weeks and around 50 hours. And I worked out if I want to get it out into the world between October, December next year, I need to illustrate one page in a week and a half or nearly 2 weeks. So either I need to get faster at painting or I need to get faster in painting. I need to dedicate more time to it. I don't know how it's possible, but somehow I need to create these works in a quicker time span or put more focus into it. I'm not sure, but we'll get there. In this first spread, I wanted to introduce our two characters, Adina and Star, in a really magical setting that exuded childhood nostalgia and those memories and moments in time where we were just laying in the sunshine, or those moments of Mull where nothing was happening and we just felt our most authentic selves. And for Adina, who is obviously, if you didn't know, little me, that was creating and painting and drawing. So she's sharing that moment with Star, and that's really important for our storyline and the messages and meanings we uncover. That's all I'm going to say for now. I also wanted to create each page as its own little story. So not only is this a story as a whole, but each page has its own meaning and messages and Easter eggs and little symbols and stuff to find. So I'm so excited for you guys to uncover that as we go along. Everything is connected and everything in my illustrations has purpose and has meaning. So don't just think that I'm painting that because it looks cool. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. I have decided that today we are finishing this painting because it's taken me forever long and I just wanted to actually be on schedule, and it's not. This is taking forever, but I am pouring my love and energy into it, and I'm a perfectionist, so like everything's gonna be perfect. But today we're working like 6 to 8 hours, if not more, if I can, to finish the first page of my children's book, because I just want to get it out in the world. I want people to like see the first page and get excited because I'm excited. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. I had my matcha full of energy, and yeah, I have no other words. I'm going to get started. Yeah. Hello! I just decided that I just painted the background. Yes, I know I painted it without you, but I film everything on my iPhone and you guys get in the road. I'm really sorry. And I need to focus on it. I thought about just leaving it as a watercolor wash for the grass. However, now I've started actually painting the fine lines for the grass, and I like that way more. So now I have to spend a couple hours painting the grass. So, yeah. I just make more work for myself, but you know what? It'll be worth it in the end. So, yeah, let's go. Hey guys, it is time to peel the tape back. I'm shitting myself. Ah! My heart is pumping. Can you even see me, guys? Hello, my lovelies. I finished the illustration this morning, and then I sat for about 2-3 hours and edited the video, and I just posted it to Instagram, and it hasn't even been an hour, and there's like 500 likes and over 50 comments. What? Excuse me, I've never had a faster reaction in my entire life. That's crazy. And very motivating to me because, oh my god, I'm exhausted. And we have 40 more to go. Anyway, I was telling, it took me 3 weeks to illustrate this one spread, and mainly because I do commissions and collaborations and I have a part-time job, so working on my children's book is not the only thing that I do. It's probably like 40% of the time. I was telling my mum and my boyfriend that I want to release this book by the end of next year, and they were both like, what? End of next year? And I was like, yeah. Like, it takes me 1 to 3 weeks to illustrate one page. There's 40 pages. There's 52 weeks in a year. I don't take any weeks off. Even so, this is going to take me a year to illustrate, and then you need 3 months at least to design the book, get print samples, and publish it. Like, I'm lucky if I finish it by next year. Anyway, the point is, I would absolutely love it if you signed up to my Patreon, because at the moment I finance this entire book myself and everything through like my jobs and commissions and workshops and all my different types of income streams. But obviously I'm in the middle of talking to my lovely people. Anyway, I have no idea what I was saying now. You interrupted my thought process. Anyway, what is it? Oh, you got your Kindle. Slay. Anyway, so obviously I would love it if you supported me on Patreon, because can you get out? Alright, go away. I have to see what I said now. Seriously guys, thank you so much for following along and for watching this video. If you'd like real-time updates, make sure you follow the gram. I also have a mailing list that you can sign up to in the description so you don't ever miss the launch of this book next year. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in episode 2. Love you!